Hey guys, Gotcha Neko here. I do have a video to talk about, which is gonna be the sparks and the guides on that. Now, I did make a video on how to get like 9 times speed spark or just 9 times star sparks, which are pretty hard to get if you don't grind this game enough. And I'm not gonna be talking about that. You can always check it out. It'll be on the top right or link in the description. But mainly today's video is gonna be like the legacy runs, the inheritance factor, and what sparks to get. Now, by now, I think it's like 2 months already passed. At this point, I believe most of you guys know like sparks, but I'm gonna go into detail on like how sparks initially work or how they work in general. So there are 4 sparks that I do want to talk about, which is gonna be the blue, pink, green, and white spark. The blue spark is kind of like the initial bonus, like your stat bonuses that you get from like inspiration events or the beginning of the run. Those are really important. I think that's probably the most important in these in the spark area. And then obviously the second one will be the green spark, which will be like unique skills that you can get from inheritance, which I think is pretty important if you are gonna try to go for like a certain build. So some green sparks I do recommend will be red shift, ogre cap, and some other skills are pretty good for most Umas, but I think those are the 2 that I do recommend on top of my head. But obviously certain Umas require different unique skills. Now, the second one that I'm going to be talking about is going to be the pink spark. So pink spark is probably, if not one of the most crucial one. It's kind of like a freebie if you do have like a 9 times speed spark, but it's really hard to get. So pink spark can be like aptitude sparks, like your distance, like distance type, and turf. Like if it's a turf or a dirt track Uma, you know, those are pretty important stuff because you get like a 5% bonus on either the turf, which could be power, and then the distant type, which is a 5% on speed. So that is extremely important. So that is the basic idea of how the pink spark work. Obviously this can affect the style. For example, if you get a pink spark on like front racer, you will have like a little bit of a boost on that side. Now, obviously, I think the most important part will be the distant type. For example, is it going to be a mile? Is it going to be a sprint? Medium, long? Those are the most important one because that gives you speed. And imagine you have like 1200 speed. You would get 120 speed for free if you do have that as well. But obviously, turf and dirt, if you have like an S on that, that is pretty neat. It's free power. I'm not too sure about the distance type. I think it has like more chance of getting like guts or stamina. Let me double check on that really quickly. Okay, so I am back. I just checked just to double check, but strat is actually a wit bonuses. So surface type, which is gonna be like dirt and turf, will give a power bonus, which is acceleration, and distance will be speed. And this could be, you know, like I say, sprint, mile, medium, long. You get the idea. And strat, which could be like the where you put the Umas in whatever category, it will give you a whip bonus. So those are pretty important. If I were to categorize which one is the most important, I think the first one will be distance. The second one may be strat if you are lacking on wit, but I would say surface is probably the second best, and then following up will be strat because I think surface, if you have a higher surface rate up or rank up, I think it is pretty important because most of the Umas you're racing against may have like an A rank at best. So going on with the sparks idea, I do want to talk about the G1 races. So as you guys know, there is going to be white sparks, and there is 2 white sparks that you can get. One is going to be the skill, which is pretty important, and 2 will be the G1 races spark, which is probably not, if not the best spark you can get. Let me go down really quickly down here. So if you do get a white spark, I think you could have multiple G1 races and also skill sparks. I know that for sure, which you can call them skill merchant, or you transfer sparks to Umas that require skills. But going on the G1 races spark, you have a 20% chance of getting a white spark, and it has a 25% chance of getting a gold skill and a 25% chance of getting a white spark. So that's pretty important to understand. And the chances of it being a 1-star is a 50%, and 2-star will be 45%, and 3-star will be 5%. So it's very, very similar to the blue sparks as well. The chances are pretty low if you want to get like a 3-star, but my recommendation is if you're going for those like G1 white sparks, getting that 3-star is important, because if you guys don't know, there is a list of all of the G1 races, like what sparks you can get from it. So for example, if you see on my screen, there is like the year 1, and it follows like the general rule. This is for the global side. I'll definitely link this in the description. So the first one is going to be like the list of G1 races, and it tells you like what the requirements are, how to get it, and you could get like a speed and guts, or speed power and speed stamina. So let me clarify one thing. So if you do get a G1 spark, right, with a 3-star, and it has a speed and guts, you are not getting the the 25, how many spikes do you get in blue spark? You are not getting the 21 plus stat on speed and stamina, just for some clarification. Actually, it gets divided in half. So if you do get like a 3-star on the G1 spark, you will get like 12 speed and 12 stamina, not plus 21. So my recommendations when going for these G1 races is to go for like a certain one. For example, if you're going for a longer distance, get like a Japanese oak, you get a free bonus and then a stamina. And then I believe these are like plus 21. So technically, if you have like multiple G1 races spark at like 3-star, and you have like a really good one as well, definitely keep those. Those give a lot of stat bonus, especially you have a chance of getting these white sparks whenever you do the inspiration events. So that's pretty important. I think G1 races is as important as the blue speed spark, or blue spark in general. The reason why I say speed a lot is because speed is #1 stat that you want to look for every single Umas. So we could quickly go over the green spark, which is basically the spark where you could get their unique skills. And I think the best one to look at is probably Maruzensky. I believe the percentage of getting these sparks is like also a 20%. Depending on like how many stars you can get, it will be like 50, 20. And also the levels of the green, also the level of the spark, the green spark that you have. Like for example, if you are using like a Uma that has like a unique skill, the level matters if you want to get those like higher chances of getting a 3-star unique green spark. Wow, that was pretty tough to say. But I believe if I were to categorize like what is gonna be the most important sparks, definitely a blue spark. Definitely go for those like 9 times 9-star sparks. Those are probably, if not the best one, because you get 62 for the first Uma, 62 for the next Uma, and that's basically like 124. But you're not guaranteed to always get 124 sparks. So there is this thing called Affinity in Uma Musume where yeah, so certain Umas work well with the legacy for the Umas you're using. For example, if I were to use a Taiki Shuttle, I believe Sakura Bakshin has a higher affinity, and you could definitely check this. I'll show you guys how it works. Let me quickly pull it up. Okay, so normally I think there was this question I had for myself that I later figured out. So you know how there is like 9-star speed spark, right? Or just 9-star sparks. There is 9-star sparks for pink spark, which could be like aptitude, like distance, and so on and so forth, you know, like the track. And yes, for those like pink sparks, there is a 9-star, and it doesn't like give more per inspiration events. For example, like you're only gonna get 1 rank up if you just get it, right? The stars represent the chances of you getting the right pink spark. For example, I have one character that has like a 3-star dirt run, which is from Haru Urara, right? The chances of you getting a dirt pink spark per each inspiration run is only 1. It's gonna rank up 1, and you only get 1. But let's just say there is the second inspiration. event, the chances of you getting another one will also be the same, and you could potentially get like an S rank on Dirt. You know, it kind of works that way. Stars represent chances, and if there is more stars, for example, if you have like multiple legacies of the pink spark that has like 3-star, you have a higher chance of getting a S rank on your track or your distance type or whatever you're aiming for. So that is also pretty important, and that's why I emphasize on getting like these important pink spark. But yeah, I think that's the general rule of all of the sparks. I may make some hiccups on what I was trying to say, since I'm not entirely sure how the probability or the percentage works for each spark, but I'll definitely link all of the websites that I think are helpful for you to like research on. And that should be all. I'm so grateful for you guys giving me like a lot of subscribers. It means a lot. And we are very close to 150 subs. If we can make it up to there, I'll be grateful. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye bye.